Favorite show? Download the podcast at kcaaradio.com.
KCAA.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Palm Trees and Progress Presents on NBC, KCAA 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM in the Inland Empire and worldwide on all streaming platforms. I'm your host, Eric Xavier Solosorio, and joined with us, as always, is the better half of the show, Andrew Berkeley Big Dog Tavares. All right, those are all digital samples of air horns. Let's go. How you doing, Andrew? How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How about you, birthday boy? Happy late birthday to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm actually very stoked for our guest. Kind of excited right now. So, as always, we've got a great show planned for the listeners. We'll be chopping it up, going over some news articles we skimmed and pretended to read, as well as talk about a couple of recent viral videos. But before that, we'll be introducing our guest that I said I was pretty stoked about, Steve Dildarian. He's considered one of the most prolific creators of adult animation. The writer, actor, and artist is best known for creating The Life and Times of Tim. Guys, go do yourself a favor. If you guys got Max or HBO Max, I think that's what they changed it to. Go check it out. It's an animated comedy that ran for 3 seasons on HBO. He currently is the creator, writer, and lead voice for 10-Year-Old Tom. New season just dropped on June 29th. It's on Max, which is HBO's. HBO changed the name, I believe. I think Steve could fill us out with that, but I'm really stoked to have him on, and we're gonna get into it a little bit. But should we bring him on right now, Andrew?
Let's bring him on, dude.
Let's bring him on. And here's our guest, Steve Dildarian. Hey, Steve, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Great. I am great. Oh, man, I feel like I'm talking to Tim right now, or 10-Year-Old Tom. This is awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, this is the voice. It doesn't change too much.
Oh, this is
That's
so sick.
awesome.
Yeah. How's your day going? I want to say thank you very much for taking the time and being part of the show. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on with the drop just happening on the 29th of June. So congrats on that. Me and my lady already binged through it, and man, so good stuff. So congrats on that.
Great. That's great to hear. Yeah, it's been an exciting couple of weeks.
Yeah, man, the jam-packed cast is all back. We got Stifler's mom. Stifler's mom's there.
Stifler's mom.
And Jennifer Coolidge. And John Malkovich is the band. I wasn't in band, so what is that? I almost said band coach?
I guess he's a band teacher. He teaches some different things, and we're a little ambiguous with what he does, but yeah, he's the band teacher.
Oh, he's the best, yeah. And Gillian Jacobs is there. Oh, man. And my boy Paul Rust. Oh, I love hearing him. I'm like, love and love. Gillian Jacobs and Paul Rust, the 2 leads from that, huh?
Yeah, he just came in to do a role, and he was so funny, and it worked so well. We just kept calling him back, so now he's a big-time recurring character.
Dude, I noticed that with the second season. I was like, oh, man, we got some more Pauly boy. Got some more of him in eating string cheese and stuff like that.
yeah, we tend to do that. If someone works and it just flows, we just keep calling them back and start writing to them. It's happened with a bunch of people, actually. Eugene Cordero was the same way. Steph Tolev this year was great. Sam Morrill. We get a lot of great people coming through, and when it works, we just double down.
Yeah, why not? I love it. Eric Griffin has he's had some pretty big roles as well in the first season, but he's got some roles as well in the second, so that's dope. Big Workaholics fan. You might not be able to see me right now because the Skype computer's hooked up a different way, but for everyone on kcaaradio.com who's watching the live stream currently, they could tell I'm a Workaholics fan with my, it's kind of like a Tommy Bahama knockoff shirt, so, I slam beers in this.
Yeah, that was a great show. Yeah, Eric's so funny all the time. He's just one. It's so much fun to get in the room with and just mess around. He's got such a great energy.
Awesome. Yeah, I was able to see him at the Improv in Ontario couple years back, and he was awesome. His set was sick, and then he had a nice little meet and greet at the end. Got a photo with him, and I asked him, I was like, "Did you really name your child Montesi?" And he's all you. And, that was my 5-second conversation with him, and I threw it with that. No regrets.
Yeah, he's great though. I love him.
Yeah, man. So I love all the animation style, and are they all your character designs? Because I know you also paint. Is it oil painting that you do?
Yeah, I do oil paintings. I've always done those. Those are mostly animals I do. But yeah, the drawings, I drew the original ones, like the main characters I did for the pitch. So I had the look all there. But then we've got great character designers and designers in general that just take it and run with it and just make it better and more polished. And then they try to mimic my style. So once I did the original 5, they do the next 80, you know. So I don't keep drawing when the show's in production. But it was kind of inspired by my stuff.
Awesome, yeah. I do like the character design of, you see the kids' clothes change a lot. I have a little 8-year-old daughter, so when I see Gillian Jacobs' kids, like, wearing, like, from the pink Crocs into, like, the other Converse or whatever, I'm like, oh, dude, sick.
Yeah. Gillian picked up, she liked that a lot because I guess she had a pair of pink Crocs when she was a kid, and or something, pink something, maybe some kind of pink sandals, but she definitely liked it. It's a nice distinctive thing for her.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of my favorite characters is, and I wanted to bring this up. I saw on your Twitter was the Tony Soprano lookalike, the 10-year-old Tony Soprano.
Oh wait, 10-year-old Tony. Oh wait, which one are you talking about?
I think you quoted. You said is Max's 10-year-old Tom the obvious creative like heir to the Sopranos?
Oh, that was Alan Sepinwall writing that. I think it was a clip of Randy in there, and Sepinwall's a big critic at the Rolling Stone, and I know he's a Jersey guy too. So
I know. Actually, I put on my short store shirt for you today. The Jersey.
Oh, was Snooki working there? Is that where Snooki worked at?
Yeah, that's the whole gang. The whole gang worked out there. My girlfriend, she's from like Brick, New Jersey, so we go back to visit her family from out there all the time. And I told her you were coming on, and I just thought it was perfect. I'm like, wow. And then I saw the Tony Soprano thing. I'm like, wow, a lot of Jersey references there.
Yeah, the show all takes place in Jersey, so whenever someone's from there, they definitely pick up on a lot of the references and things. But yeah, I grew up there, so I tend to set most things I write in Jersey.
That's awesome. Are you an Impractical Jokers fan as well? Because I was just watching that before this radio show.
Love that show. Yeah, it's one of those shows I'll just go on a crazy binge and watch over and over. Impractical Jokers I love. I like a lot of shows like that, like Nathan For You.
What's his HBO one too? Is real good. The Rehearsal.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And Tim Robinson's got a lot of sketch shows. And
I love me some Tim Robinson. What is it? I Think You Should Leave. Yeah. Oh, season 3 just dropped as well.
Incredible.
I'm stoked on that fool too because he skates and he just actually had a new he had a feature in Thrasher. Crazy enough, this past month. So I was pretty stoked off that. So maybe if you pick up a scooter or something, you can get in like Thrasher or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And I like shows like that. The Billy on the Street I like a lot when he was.
Oh yeah, Billy on the Street.
Oh man, I want to go to New York just for the chance to get yelled at by Billy. That'd be so rad. Thank you for this.
Oh man, I do love that though. The East Coast humor is so big in 10-year-old Tom. I'm like, wow, I just love the way like the humor is just set up.
His uncle's a legend.
Cutthroat and edgy, yeah.
His uncle's a legend, dude.
Yeah, I think it works on the East Coast just because, the nature of the people, the loud characters, everyone right up against each other, the more crowded landscape. I don't think the show would work on the West Coast.
No, I think it's perfect. It's like a great setting for it. And then, yeah, like I said, the humor just hits different. Like you said, everyone's close together. That's so funny and loud.
Yeah.
In everyone's business.
That's the whole show, is just him in a crazy, chaotic world and everyone just coming at him left and right.
Yeah. And I love how he's like the, mild-mannered and everyone is just going berserk the whole time. And he's like the very grounded level. It's the best. I was a huge fan of The Life and Times of Tim.
That's great.
Have you seen a lot of, or maybe like people reached out a lot lately since the new season dropped of 10-Year-Old Tom? Maybe they like because there's only 2 seasons, and I feel like people would want to get a fix of that same kind of humor. And Life and Times does have a lot of the same beats and I guess theme.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. It's unavoidable. So the two kind of go hand in hand, and that's what I like. It's like a companion piece. Since we're not doing that show anymore. R.I.P. And that's what I was really relieved by. People like that. They like this. So it's just a very similar character, just as a little kid.
Nice. George Lucas style prequel. It's cool. I
There
get
you
it.
go.
I'm waiting for Jar Jar Binks to come around or something like that. Maybe season 3. So I have read a interview of you for the end of season 3 for the Life and Times of Tim. So I don't know. Spoiler alert, I guess. Would he have, when you wrote this show? It was a while when I read it. When you wrote that season, was it already planned that season 3 was going to be the final?
No, it wasn't. But you always in this business, you gotta pretend it's over and hope it's not. So you try to write things that are a little ambiguous. If it ended up being the end, it kind of feels like the end. And if we keep going, I had 5 different ways to write around what happened and how it and why it continues.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
that's awesome.
That's just the reality. You just never know where you stand. At least I don't. And you hope for the best, but one season at a time. It's not an easy thing to keep going.
Yeah. So okay, I love hearing that. Kind of left it on a cliffhanger if it was promised to come back again, or if not, like gave us all some closure.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
if it kept going, it was the O that fell on him. So we could have gone around him.
Exactly.
We could have assumed it was very inexpensively made, and it just kind of broke because it was made of balsa wood. I had 5 different jokes for why he was okay.
Amazing. Oh, that's so
That
awesome.
is so awesome. It's just so cool being a creator. And like, how do you do that? I mean, how did you even for Tom, 10-year-old Tom, how did you guys get into that idea of I want to create another show? Like, how does that go?
I mean, that's what I do for a living. I have no choice but to just keep coming up with ideas. Hopefully you come up with something where there's a lot there, a lot to dig into. You're not done with the joke in 3 or 4 stories. It's a big theme, with a lot of ways at it. And this is a big theme where it's how does a kid process the insanity of the modern world we live in? There's a lot of stories to tell there. You can take it through any angle of sports, religion, business, politics. There's in things in the kid's personal life.
Crossing guards.
Yeah, exactly. There's endless stories. So you can picture not getting tired of it 30, 40, 100 stories in. That's when you've got a show and not just a short or a sketch. But yeah, it's not easy. You can't come up, at least I don't come up with a lot of great ideas. It's hard to come up with something where now I've got something. It could take a few years, really.
The pilot. I'm sorry. Go for it, Andrew.
No. Go for it, Eric.
The pilot for Life and Times of Tim. That was originally a short, or how was that the prostitute one?
Yeah, that was such a unique thing because I was totally fresh to the business. I actually made 3 shorts. Me and my girlfriend just kind of taught ourselves to animate at home in iMovie. It was very crude.
Power couple.
It was ridiculous, but that's what was the charm of it. We made 6 minutes of animation, and we're like, oh my God, it actually looks like they're kind of moving and kind of talking.
Sick.
And I was actually impressed by that. It was like, we actually made it. And so those 3 short films, that was the pitch. Once those got sent around, people were interested, and I didn't know what would happen, but ironically, HBO just let me go straight to making my own show, which they don't usually do things like that. They usually put you with a showrunner. They oversee it. They bring in the professionals, and they just said we like the raw, underproduced nature of it, and we don't want to mess it up. So just go do your thing. We'll put it on the air.
Wow.
So that
That's
stuff
awesome.
doesn't happen often. That's a once in a lifetime moment. I just kept everything lined up.
Yeah.
Everything was perfectly lined up. I had the right piece of work at the right moment, and it just clicked.
Dang, got full creative control on that. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So it's and now I'm doing a version of that and slowly just keep layering it. You naturally get a little bit better at it, more knowledgeable about it, and I think it's nice that this show is its own thing. It's its own living, breathing thing. That's me at this moment, being true to myself right now, not trying to replicate Tim, because that comes up a lot. Like, and I try to avoid that pitfall of going backwards and just doing what I did then, because this is its own show. So I almost don't even think about it. The similarities are there because my instincts are just consistent. You know, I keep kind of going to the same well of humor, and my drawing style, my instincts lead me down similar paths. So it's going to be similar no matter what I do.
Yeah.
But hopefully this show is unique and in its own thing.
Oh yeah, definitely seems unique in its own way, and I feel like in the best way possible. Like it has some beats from Life and Times of Tim, but not like in insisting upon itself way. Like it definitely seems like it's its own vein, and especially because he's a child and going through certain different things. There's not so many girlfriend issues. I love Tim's girlfriend. It's the best. She's the best.
Yeah.
She's a wild animal. She gets in bar fights, or she stabs someone at like a sorority thing.
Yeah.
He's like,
it was just a friend of mine, MJ Otto, who was a friend of mine from the ad agency I was working at. Mm-hmm. A lot of the cast in that show was just my friends from San Francisco.
Awesome.
Who had nothing to do with TV, so that all added to the raw nature of it all.
Yeah, when you guys were making that, were you guys planning on uploading it? I'm not sure what year it was, the Life and Times, like when you guys were actually working on it and sending off the pilot. Was that like going on E-Bombs World or like Newgrounds or any of the Flash animation kind of websites? Or was
no,
this
all we
after?
did with it, this was like 2006, and when we first made the shorts. And I didn't do much except send it to like 3 or 4 festivals.
Oh, sick.
And the one that loved it was in Aspen, the Comedy Arts Festival in Aspen. They really picked up on it, and I flew in, and it was a moment where everything kind of changed for me. Like within months,
right?
You know, we sold the show, and I could tell just being at the festival, the reaction you get. Like sometimes you always hope people are being honest, but you can tell when there's that next level of enthusiasm, when people are effusive about what they're seeing, and I could tell the reaction was just a little different. It wasn't just, oh, this is funny, good job. It was, I could tell I had something. I was onto something.
Yeah, genuine feeling in it, and they just really did like it.
Yeah, exactly. So things happened pretty fast after that festival.
Yeah,
that's so cool. My bad. I just wanted to ask. So you said you were in San Francisco, or your friends from San Francisco. So how did you end up out there in SF? I mean, is that when where you did all the shows there?
No, well, I did advertising before I did TV. So grew up in Jersey, moved to New York, lived in New York for a bunch of years when I started out. And then San Francisco is where I went to do advertising. That was like the hot agency at the time. And I did a bunch of Budweiser commercials.
Budweiser.
Exactly. And so as I was doing that, I was doing this on the side. So once, I was already getting attention through my commercials. So people in LA would call me and ask if I wanted to write TV. And then it was a matter of having the right piece of work to show them. And this ended up being it. So it all just kind of flowed one into the other. My advertising kind of led me to this. And then I didn't really move to LA. We kind of produced Tim. I commuted from San Francisco. We'd fly back and forth like every other week. And I had a boat up there. I would sit on the boat. I used it as my office. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's another thing they probably wouldn't let me get away with today. It was a very unique set of circumstances. We made that thing.
That's so cool. Yeah, I went to school up there in Berkeley, but I just love the Bay Area. So when you said San Francisco, I'm like, wow, I wonder how that culture of you being there influences any of your creating and your creative style, or if you pull inspiration from there.
I think the only thing it influences is that I was kind of removed from the business, and I hadn't worked in the business. I hadn't sat in a bunch of writers' rooms, so I didn't know all the trappings of what a show should look and feel like, or the way to run it. So when I came in, it was a real outsider attitude I had, where it's like, I don't want anyone working on the show that's worked in animation before. Keep all the professionals away from it. I want to keep this unique and original. So I think San Francisco and continuing to live there helped me just feel like I'm not really in the business. I'm just doing my show, and if they put it on, great. But I'm not becoming an LA writer.
That's awesome.
Very
punk rock.
That's the whole length of the show.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
Were you sipping a lot of Budweisers during that Lizard campaign? Because I remember that being like parodied everywhere on Simpsons. Because I'm born '92, so I don't really remember the commercial that much, but I do remember it in pop culture, like references everywhere.
It did very well, and for me, I was young at the time, and so for a young guy to be having a big success like that and making more money than I ever thought I'd make in my life, it was a pretty big, crazy time. That's why I had a boat. I was making so much money at that age, I didn't know what to do with it, and I bought this old fishing boat.
What'd you name it?
I actually never named it. I was not a knowledgeable boat owner, so I didn't even know where to go to get it fixed, or I just kind of rode it around pretty recklessly and endangered a bunch of people's lives for about 2 years. And then once it started breaking down, I just kept it in the marina and used it as my office to write. So it kind of just sat there floating, and it was a beautiful thing, though. I would take my dog out each morning and write. I wrote pretty much the whole Tim show on that boat, and I loved it. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
That's so cool.
Sounds like some Hemingway stuff right there, awesome. Just riding on a boat.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you still live in California, or you?
Now I'm in LA.
Oh, you're in LA now.
Now I'm in LA, and I've got a good setup here, and I love it. Yeah, because I don't have the same resistance. Now I really like LA because I got more space. You got more. I'm not like in a city in the same way. Like we're close to Griffith Park, so it feels a little more outdoorsy. So yeah, I just like to do whatever's I'm reacting to in the moment. Right now, this feels like where I belong and where I'm happy. Back then, it didn't. So I just kind of go with the flow of where things take me.
That's awesome, dude. That's so cool. There, like, at least you're now in like LA, but like you said, you're at a good level where everything's kind of flowing. Like that energy is just perfect timing for everything for you right now.
Plus, like the more you do something, like now that I've done TV a bunch, I know a lot of people in the business. I know a lot of actors that I'm friends with, a lot of writers, and you want to be around that. It would be kind of weird if I was around a business that I'm no longer working in, and like you'd feel like a hanger on. It's just not where my life is. So down here, it just feels like this is present day, what's active and energizing and inspiring for me. You want to be where the action is. So right. I like being here now.
Yeah, you said being around some of the writers or like people in the same field as you. I recognized two voices in the new season as well that I'm a big fan of them and their show that I unfortunately got canceled, I believe, as well. Animals. It's Pete and Mike.
Phil and Mike.
Dude, Phil and Mike. I'm so sorry. And dude, I was so stoked. I was like, just instantly. Yeah, I had to go on IMDb. I was like, yep, I knew that was them. And,
yeah, it was funny because those guys called me in to do their show, and that was in the years after Tim was done.
Yeah.
And they were the next animated comedy that came on after mine. HBO really hadn't done much at all. Mine was the first animated comedy. Theirs was the second. So we just had a kind of nice connection. We're in a small group of people that have a similar experience, and they happen to like Tim when it was on, and it kind of inspired them a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it shows with the crude drawing style and stuff like that, and shows you don't need much of the animation for comedies like that, you know?
Totally. No, and they've been real nice about saying that and how it really inspired them in some ways. So that's a great thing. That's the way these things work. I was inspired by Dr. Katz back in the day.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Throwback right there.
Yeah, no, an old show, but it was completely unique. Nothing like it. Totally underproduced, like who made this? Where'd this thing come from? And I loved that about it. So now I love that Phil and Mike aren't the only ones. People, young animators are always saying how, for better or worse, it inspires them because it was so accessible and so doable. Like if he can do that, I can do it. I make it look easy because it's not daunting. It's not like The Simpsons where it's like, it's big money, big experience, years to hone your craft. The way I made Tim, it's like, it feels like anyone could do it if you got a pen and a laptop,
That's so awesome.
I love that people feel that way. It's a really rewarding thing.
Yeah. Did you ever go on Animals? Are you on any of the seasons?
Yeah, I did. I did it like 3 times.
Oh.
I played a dog. I think it was a dog every time. Um, yeah, it was different times I did it, but it was a lot of fun. And those guys were just fun to improv with. So I was looking for a role for them, and I was so happy I had this thing. It was just perfect. The bad kids in the back of the bus, and it's hard to find like a duo, where I knew their banter needed to just flow. So they're finishing each other's sentences, and it worked out very well. I was very happy with it.
It's so good. And, I'm surprised I didn't notice that you were in The Animals on HBO as well, because I feel like I'm one of those people, I hear a voice and I'm like, I have the urge. I'm like, damn it, dude, I got to go on IMDb now just to make sure it's who I know it is. Like,
yeah.
It makes Law and Order really hard to watch. I'm like, who was that dead body? I know I've seen him somewhere.
That's funny.
No, Eric is so creative. The stuff that he pulls off the top of his head, like, that's kind of why I love doing the show with him. His creative juice is just always flying. He can make something relevant,
are always flying,
pop culture, and everything. I mean, this guy is so funny.
Yeah, we get so many people that are just quick, and it's one thing to be funny, but it's another to breathe humanity and warmth and life into a character and make them real.
Yeah.
And that's when I think when we get it right, that's when the show really works, when it's not just funny and riffing, but it's like you feel invested in them because they're real characters. So that's why when I, like earlier said with Paul Rust, that's like the next level of success, I feel. Most people are funny. If we call them in, we know they're going to be funny. We're not taking too many chances. But to go to the next level of, oh, wow, that's just like a living, breathing human being, and with nuance and idiosyncrasies, that's when it's like, oh, I know the character. It's alive now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why you said Paul Rust got more lines in a bigger role in season 2. People, I mean, he's a charismatic cartoon and a guy. I was like, give me some more, and we got some more.
Taylor Meshach was like that. She plays on the show Dave. She plays Dave's girlfriend. She's so good and funny. I think she came in. It was like 2 lines. It was like a really side role, and she was just so funny and so sarcastic, and I love it when that happens. It's like, oh, you came in for a couple lines, but get ready for more. We're gonna keep calling you.
Yes,
you can see it right away.
Speaking of Dr. Katz, man, that's where I fell in love with Raymond, with Ray Romano.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I didn't know he was this funny. I just got him from Everybody Loves Raymond when I was in the hotel and there was no cable. I was just watching that, and I was like, not my jam. But when I watched Dr. Katz, I was like, Ray Romano's a genius.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they had so many good people on that show, and especially just John Benjamin. Obviously, he's gone on to do so many huge things, but at the time, I don't know if he had done much else. He wasn't really known for much back then. And I remember casting him in half the advertising things I was doing. So I'm like, oh my God, this is gold. This guy's amazing. I used an old pilot I did way back, and then shortly thereafter, he starts getting cast in Archer and
yeah, Home Movies was where I fell in love with him, actually. Good old Home Movies.
Right. It's so funny. When was that? Because I get so many comparisons. People compare Tom to Home Movies. I've never seen it, but was it around that like early 2000s, or when was it?
Let me see real quick. But yeah, it was a Brendan Smalls on Adult Swim. I'm sure you've heard. 99 to 2004 is what it says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta check it out because people definitely bring it up. But it sounds great. Yeah, like I said, I don't really watch a lot of animation, so.
Okay, so what are you watching right now besides your show? Just running the numbers up.
Yeah, like I said, when I watch comedy, it's not a ton of scripted stuff. It's shows like I mentioned before. It's like
Vanderpump Rules, Love Is Blind. a lot of trash reality shows.
I tend to like things like I said earlier with Nathan, Tim Robinson, Billy on the Street, because those shows can make me laugh out loud, like really hard, the way not a lot of scripted things do.
Yeah.
So I'm always searching for it in scripted things. I don't really. As like Nathan, for you, that guy is so
such
funny.
great.
Maybe it's cringe humor. Some people say it's cringe humor, awkward humor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm drawn to, because Billy on the Street's the same thing, and Tim Robinson's the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Nathan For You fan, and like I'll try to put it on all the time if I get the remote. I'm like, oh, you guys will love this. But most of the time, people are like, I don't like cringe comedy. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's the whole point of it. It's like that's the best part. Is like he's hitting the joke perfectly, but
true.
without even smiling.
It's true. It's shocking to me too. It's like, wait, you don't like the whole genre of humor? That's like everything I like. It's very strange when someone's not into it.
Oh man.
Oh.
When on the first episode or so of Nathan For You, when he's like doing the frozen yogurt and poop flavor, and he asks the dude like, "Hey, you want to hang out after this?"
He does that a lot. He's always asking people to hang out.
Yeah, and no one wants to hang out with him, dude. I'd be so stoked to kick it with Nathan Fielder, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he puts on a little bit for the show.
Not too much. I met him once. We talked for a while at I think it was Nick Kroll's rap party on his show. And we got to talk, and it's like when we started this call, he said, "Oh, you sound like Tim or Tom." He's not putting too much on. Obviously, he is,
right,
just for the comedy of it, but to talk to him is not terribly different.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love to talk to that guy. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, he's so good. Smart. He's smart guy.
Yeah,
I was
gonna say his business. He graduated with like good grades in his business school, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I love that.
Well, I want to say thank you again, Steve Dildarian, for joining us on PalmTrees in Progress Presents on NBC KCAA. A new season of 10-Year-Old Tom is out now on Max, and just want to say thanks again for taking the time. I know you said we were told you might only have like 30 minutes to kick it with us. Are you able to hang a little longer?
I should get going, actually. I'm a little over already.
Okay, yeah, no problem, brother. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, but this is great talking to you guys. I appreciate that you're into it.
Oh, thanks again, man. We really appreciate you for taking the time. And is there anything you want to say before you get out of here?
No, that's it. Just hope people watch the show. We need, sometimes these shows need all the word of mouth that you can get. That's the way things get popular these days. So if you like it, tell somebody.
That's right. If you guys like 10-Year-Old Tom, tell somebody. And let's get this go viral, right? Let's get this cringe comedy go viral. No cap. All right, man. Thanks again, bro. I will catch you some other time then. When season 3 comes out.
Oh, and Steve, my bad. I meant to say, dude, thank you for all those, like, what you do with your painting, too. I wanted to bring that up, but, like, you donate and you paint, you make those paintings and donate. So that's really cool, man. I just wanted to say that's such a...
Oh, yeah, real quick. I'll say, because people find me through the show all the time, and I've been doing it forever, as long as I've been doing this. And I do paintings. A lot of them are animals, not always, but I do donate usually half the money, but pretty close to it, to an animal charity. And it's just a very rewarding thing. And it's as much of a creative outlet for me as TV is, just a whole different corner of my brain. And I love it. I appreciate that you said that.
Yeah, no, it was so cool. And I see it in that artwork. I love that you're able to do that on the side, completely away from your creative skills. You get to do this. And
sometimes you need
to do that.
Sometimes you need a whole different thing, a place to escape to.
We need more creators like you. That's so cool.
Nice.
But thank you again. I appreciate you, Steven.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, you have a good one. Take it easy, man.
All right, see you.
Yo.
Did that just happen?
That was so awesome, huh?
That was so sick, dude. He's a dope guy.
Shout out to Steve Dildarian again for taking the time and being part of the show. And that was awesome. Good time chopping it up.
Oh, yeah.
I feel he liked us.
I'm definitely going to go on HBO now.
HBO, I think it's called Max.
You're right. It's Max. I'm going to go jump on Max afterwards. Gave him a follow already on Twitter. If anybody's checking him out right now, his thing is at Steve Dildarian. We got to get him our PalmTrees follow.
Oh, do we not follow him off that? No,
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
we
sure
do.
we do. I'm pretty sure we do.
Oh, do we?
I don't know. I guess if not, double check after this. Yeah, that was awesome, man. What was I going to say? Kind of gone off. Shout out to Steve Dildarian again for taking the time being part of the show. Go make sure to check out 10-Year-Old Tom on HBO Max. On Max, that's what it's called now. You think he has a Thread account? That's what I was gonna say, because you said. 'Cause you had
Are we
Instagram.
anti-Twitter now? We're off our Twitter game.
Yeah. Did you see what? Speaking of Thread, did you see what Elon Musk messaged to Zuckerberg?
He was gonna sue him, right?
Well, I think he posted also like on Twitter. Elon Musk called him a cuck. He said Zuck is a cuck.
No way, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and then he proposes a male genitalia measuring contest. This is what tweets. Dude, this is tweets he posted.
No, he didn't.
Musk called him a cuck, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you hear they're about to fight?
Do I think they're gonna fight?
Yeah, did you hear about it?
Yeah, is that a real thing? Fill me in on because I know that I have heard the rumors that someone said, "Yo, I could, whatever for." They'll like tap him out. I think Musk said he'll tap him out.
They're trying to set up like a fight between Mark and Elon at the Coliseum.
Oh, really?
They want to do like the old Coliseum, and I think they have a boxing match is what they're trying to do, or like some sort of. Yeah, so I think it's a boxing match.
I'd have my money on, honestly, Zuckerberg, if it was like mixed martial arts, if it was like MMA or more than that and more than boxing.
I would definitely go with Mark too.
Yeah, that fool has been looking yoked out. I saw a photo of him like with his trainers. Fool's looking yoked. I was like, gosh darn.
Dang, dude, he's got money and he's yoked.
I know. Like, that was the one thing that I was like, hey, whatever, dude. At least I could probably beat him up. Not no more. Not no more. This dude's going to tap people out.
He probably heard that so much, too, and that's like his determination to get strong and learn to fight.
Yeah, he's like, I learned to do this in the metaverse. Now it's in real life. Let's go.
Oh, man.
Do you have a friend?
I wanted to ask Steve, think about it. Do you think he's ever done any hallucinogenics, any creative juice?
Oh, yeah, we definitely should have asked that. Probably. I feel like 110% mushrooms, right? I mean, is that rude to say?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Like, when I heard about San Francisco, I was like, there's no way he was never not.
Exactly.
Not.
Right there. That said it alone. Oh, fridge.
So it was so cool to think about, like, now looking back at Tim and, like, those shows. I'm like, wow, that guy was just chilling on a boat. In San Francisco, just writing great comedy.
We should have asked him what marina it was at.
I should have. You were almost there. You almost got the boat name. He had no boat name. Right?
Yeah, I'm on a boat. Thank you for listening, everybody, by the way. Don't forget to give us a follow at PalmTrees and Progress on all social media platforms. And thank you for everyone who's tuning in live on KCAAradio.com. Checking us out, looking all fresh. Yeah, dude, do you want to get into some of these news articles?
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
Let's get. I know I didn't really send you any, but this week, but news. All right, this one's pretty gnarly. There's this story about an apologetic armed robber gives a victim ride home, and the two make plans to reconnect. Now, Andrew, you weren't here 2 weeks ago when we covered another story that was similar to this, but I know you tuned in, and there was a lady who got robbed. Going to her mailbox, and the assailant, it was armed robber as well, attempted to like exchange Facebook information and numbers, with the lady, and asked if she was single, and was like, "Oh, are you single? Sorry about this. Like, I just really, I need the money, but follow me on Facebook so I could pay you back." And it sounds like that's how the gentleman was caught. And
no way.
Yes. So this story is a gunman in Manhattan Beach was driving his victim to an ATM machine, and in the process of robbing him, the two became friends. During the armed robbery, the robber was very apologetic and told the victim he had bills to pay. The victim was understanding of this and complied with his needs. After a successful robbery, the man drove the victim back home, and the two made plans to reconnect someday. Jeez, dude. I mean, I'm glad I'm not single anymore, because that would really hurt me. I'm like, yo, I can't even get a text back, and this dude's over here like robbing people and making homies.
making friends.
Yeah, like what? That guy's one charismatic robber.
Oh, dude. That reminds me. Did you see that? There was
Do you think
another
Tim
video
liked me?
too.
I mean, do you think Steve liked me?
Man, I was thinking the
think
same thing.
Do you think he liked us?
Know.
I don't know. Kind of rushed off. You kind of rushed off.
We got to. I think we'll come back to that. We'll circle back to that one.
Yeah.
So give me some time to think about and evaluate if you laughed enough.
Oh.
No. But dude, there was another video of a guy that there was a man, like boyfriend girlfriend, and they were walking down the street, and a gunman got out of a car, grabbed her bag, started like pointing the gun everywhere, and then the guy booked it down the street, and then the robber felt bad, and he was like, "Oh, what?" And so he started apologizing and started giving back her stuff and said like, "I'm so sorry," and just started questioning the girl like, "That's your boyfriend?"
Yeah.
It's a great video, dude.
Yes, I you know what? I did see the exact same thing. I saw the video. Was he on a? Were they on a moped? Were they?
Was that the moped one?
I don't know, because I was gonna say I've seen a couple moped ones, but I do know exactly. He like even points and gestures to the boyfriend. I assume ex-partner now.
Yeah.
Yeah, running away like that's your man, and gives her the purse back and all that. You know, it'd be hilarious if that was like someone's big brother. Like if that was like if that was homegirl's big brother, like, yo, I told you he's a punk. That'd be pretty rad.
That would be hilarious.
I saw another, while we're on the subject, I saw another one of a robbery with a moped as well. I believe it was another country, and this lady is walking home, and it might be a security footage, and she, someone on a moped pulls a gun out, and is like, oh, give me your purse. And she throws the purse like behind the moped, maybe about a yard behind the moped, and so he has to get off the moped and then go walk the yard or so to the purse. And the lady is like, as soon as he's walking the purse, she's about to throw her leg over the moped, so she's like gonna take the moped, you know what I mean? So she's gonna jump on and hop on it right off, and then he's like, wait. So they do this little dance like you do when you're in like a hallway and you run into someone and you guys both kind of walk the same way. You know what I mean? You guys both kind of block each other multiple times. Yeah, they did that a couple times until he was like, I'm not going to be able to take the purse and the moped at the same time. So it's pretty cool. It looked like some little like technique to avoid robberies or something like that.
That's great. Well, on another robbery case, did you see the one of the guy at the nail salon that went in and they didn't do anything?
No one looked. Yeah, no one moved, huh? Right? Like,
I feel like that's kind of the move, like not to freak out and panic and just look confused and make him feel confused.
Yeah, he seemed very confused after that with his what is it, a fanny pack over the shoulder and stuff like that.
And I love that the owner's just on the phone, like, looking at him, and he's like, everybody give me your money. No one's moving. Whoa. No one's doing anything, and he just walks out.
You think it's like that dude? It's Steve's third time this freaking week trying to do that. What's his deal? You think that's what it is? Like,
follow through?
Yeah, like, come on, dude. We know it's just a plastic bag. It's a cap gun.
And then what he was yelling, like, give me your money. I don't have money. And you're at this nail salon.
There you go. I've never paid for my nails or my lady's nails, and I'm sorry about that, guys. But I hear it's expensive from all the rap songs I hear about. I hear it's expensive.
Oh, you got to get your lady looking right.
Get her nails did, as Missy Elliott has once said. Oh, so speaking of New Jersey humor, were you able to watch 10-Year-Old Tom with the Missus?
Yeah, and I was telling her about was it Jennifer Coolidge? About because she's a big fan of her from a few other movies. So I'm like, oh, that's her voice, and then
White Lotus.
So it was pretty cool.
She's like White Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Did you finish?
Yeah.
Did you finish both seasons?
No, I didn't.
Dude, finish season 2. It's like the best season finale I've ever seen.
Really?
It's a pretty good one. It's not the best.
Okay.
It's pretty good though. I'd say it's fun. It's a fun season finale. Yeah, I got another news article right here. This one's a little bit more on a serious note. I know we've been hitting a lot of robberies here, but let me see if I can find it. I just lost it. It was actually not really serious. It's about sea otters. It's actually about authorities looking to apprehend aggressive sea otters that's targeting surfers. So a sea otter is terrorizing California surfers, according to reports. According to reports, since mid-June, an otter, which remains nameless, has been attacking and terrorizing surfers off the Santa Cruz coastlines. It's a little up towards up there, huh? Up towards your stomping grounds. And at least one case, it stole a board.
It stole a board?
Yeah, I don't know how it did that. Man.
Oh, that's a sea lion or a otter?
Sea otter. I'd understand a lion. I'd be like, get out of here.
Dude, those are big.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, I don't get too close to them. When I was living in San Diego, people would, like, there's this cliff that they would all go to, and, like, all the sea lions would just lay there, and people would get up close to try to touch them and take pictures with them, and they're not happy, especially when there's a mom watching her, like, little ones. They're crazy. People are reckless.
I blame 51st States for that.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's good. I'm going to be like Adam Sandler.
Dude, how cool was that when Steve was like, oh, yeah, at Nick Kroll's party?
I know. That was so cool. The way he just name dropped that, like,
Yeah.
first show. I was like, yeah, dude, I get it. Like, yeah, dude, I get it. Like that. Yeah.
I'm guessing Dave was there too.
I was gonna be there, but I just couldn't make it that day. My babysitter had to cancel.
Yeah, cancel last minute.
Yeah.
I was talking to Nathan Fielder and then Nick Kroll's party.
That was so cool. I don't even know. I was like, dude, this guy just put on some like glasses right now, like some Ray-Ban glasses, and smoke a cigarette. That was cool as heck.
Dang, man. What a life, though. That's sick that he moved from New York to San Francisco, did his ad thing, and then just wrote.
What a humble dude, too. Like, I mean, the Budweiser commercial is just monumental. Like I said, I just remember it being parodied in all of my favorite shows. Bud,
I need to look it up again. I thought I knew it, but then you started bringing up all these references, and I'm like, I don't remember the references.
Oh, it was like in Simpsons and Family Guy as well. Like they had the cartoon version. Like yeah, you'll see it. It's the little lizards that said Bud, Y, and then Zer. It's pretty good stuff.
Sick. All right, I gotta check this one out. Well, what do we got, man? 8 minutes. Actually, I wanted to ask you. So, what'd you end up getting into for your birthday?
Oh, for my birthday, thank you. We got a little 8-minute birthday roundup. All
the birthdays. There's birthdays everywhere.
Yeah, there was birthdays everywhere. Your big bro had a birthday not too long ago.
Yep, his birthday.
I had a great birthday weekend, actually. I felt extra. On Friday was the day before my birthday. Took my daughter to the beach. Took her and the missus early to Huntington, and we were able to snag a nice little fire pit. Ooh. And a couple of the buddies and stuff came down, and then we just had a little bonfire.
For all the listeners, I wasn't one of those buddies invited.
I know. And you're like a stone's throw away, huh?
Yeah.
And you were in town, huh?
I was there.
Dude.
I was here.
if it makes you feel any better, I was like, I invited like 4 or 5 people, and then like as soon as I was driving home, I was like, oh, I don't know why I didn't invite Andrew. I didn't send a text. I meant to send a text the whole time.
Sure.
My other friend Jeremy lives out in like Tustin area too. I was like, I was gonna hit him up. A couple people I totally dropped the ball on, and I'm glad for that reason. I'm glad I didn't post any photos of the beach trip. But then the missus, she's from Arrowhead or whatever that area, and she took me up to Arrowhead for the weekend. We were just basically lounging in the lake, and then had an amazing view. It was a good time. A lot of drinking. I didn't have to drive after I drove to the beach. After that, I didn't have to drive for the whole weekend.
Nice. Were you guys in a cabin up there, or is that her parents' spot, or?
You know what? Surprisingly, we were supposed to stay at a friend's house, but one of her friends got sick, and they didn't want to. They didn't know if it was COVID or whatever. So they basically were like, no, you can't come by. They gotta drop the ball on us. And she hit up her auntie, and shout out to her auntie because has like 2 extra rooms in a cabin out there, bro. Oh,
it looks so nice.
The view was crazy. I walked in there. We had stayed out for a while, and I walked in there like maybe 11:30, 12ish or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm trying to, all whispering, trying to be quiet, nice house guests and stuff like that. And as soon as I walk in the bedroom, I'm like, oh, dude, this is unreal. Like, I couldn't be quiet about how insane the view was, because being a flatlander is what they call us out here. Anyone that's not from there, I'm not used to seeing the skyline like that. It was I'll have to post it on our PalmTrees in Progress page for the viewers and listeners. It's just basically a lookout of all of the IE. She said certain days you can see Catalina.
Really?
Yeah, on days that aren't foggy, or the days that have less smog, you can see Catalina. And I was like, what, dude? She told me that, and I was like, oh, dude, babe, I'm so glad you told me that, because before we had gotten over there, she told me that in the morning. Before we got in there, we went to another little lookout point that's kind of like on a turnout on the highway. And, we just smoked a blunt, and I had a cold one up there. And there's a lot of other cars there, so I was just like, babe, thanks for telling me, because I didn't want to embarrass myself. I wanted to ask you that, but I was I know I was like within earshot of everybody there. And I didn't want to embarrass myself, just in case, like, it was such a stupid question. Babe,
yeah.
Babe, could you ever see Catalina from here? Like, and everyone just look at me. So thankfully, I didn't do that. And also, I made myself feel like, obviously, be a tourist. I was like, whoa, look at this view. Just the whole time. Everyone's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? I'm like, dude, this is unreal.
Bring flatlanders up here.
Yeah. Exactly.
The enthusiasm.
Oh, well, we got about 3 minutes before we have to get out of here. You want to say anything, Andrew? Thank you for asking about my birthday, by the way.
No, yeah, of course, man. I hope you had a good one. Yeah, other than that, dude, just, I guess, yeah, shout out to Christian. Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday,
Vanessa,
Christian.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, little Noah. Happy birthday, Vanessa.
Noah. Happy late birthday. Everyone's getting a birthday right now.
Birthday. We're supposed to do something, huh? You get a birthday. We're supposed to do something, apparently, but let's see if that group chat follows through, huh?
Let's see. Well, I guess somebody shut it down. You're not allowed to be in the sun, I guess.
Oh, who was that? Who
Juju.
was that? It was Juju? Oh,
I was like 93 and sun. I was like, what do you mean? What's the problem?
Let's not go to an Angels game when it's 93 and sunny. That's something that we got sent to our family group chat when we're trying to celebrate a birthday, guys.
We're trying to celebrate all these birthdays in one person.
We have a lot of July birthdays in one person who shot it down very hard.
I guess we know who's not going.
That is very in Juju's nature, and I kind of love that.
Yeah, I know, right? She's very on brand.
I wish that there was also that guy who wasn't in our group chat. Like, sorry guys, wrong number.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of wish that we kept him in the group chat.
We just start bringing him everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Well, this was Theo George's old number, I think, is what someone said, and I'm like, cool. Let's bring him around then.
Let's bring him around. He seems like a good guy.
Sorry, Theo. Yeah, he's let us know. Sorry, you guys got the wrong guy.
It's not me.
Oh man, I mean, I love being part of the group chat. I do love having a family group chat. I don't have a favorite. I'll just say that. But yeah. I get annoyed sometimes from like the alerts. I can only imagine it not being your family.
Oh man.
You're like, who are these guys? Why do you guys keep sending videos and photos?
It's just my dad's face on Zoom.
Well, there's a couple of videos of my mom dancing in Fremont too, so like
He's just sitting in this group chat like, when are they gonna remove me?
And
I've already asked.
What a sicko. He's probably kept us on for a while, and he's like, you know what? Now I'm finally had it. All right. Well, thank you for
my dad.
Yes. All right. Thank you for everyone always listening and watching and stuff. And make sure to give us a like and subscribe, follow. I don't know. Check us out on all social media platforms. PalmTrees in Progress. Andrew, thank you for as always being part of the show. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you again, Steve Dildarian, for being our special guest. We appreciate you. And make sure to go catch 10-Year-Old Tom on HBO Max. Thanks again, guys. Bye.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA